good. Okay, very good.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. Episode number 617 of Hard Factor. And we got a full house tonight. I'm Will. We got Pat, Mark, and Wes. How you boys doing? You feeling good? Ready for this What the Fuck Wednesday?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I can't wait. Will.
Yeah.
And now I'm all jacked up on New Jersey pizza.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait. Dude, the pizza here.
That's what I like to hear at the top of an episode. Everybody ready to go. Real quick before we get going, we loved hosting these podcasts on Anchor now, which is Spotify's podcast platform. And there's actually interactive questions with the show now. So if you are listening on Spotify or actually listening through the Anchor app itself, there's like questions that show up with the show related to the content of the show. So today's questions, we'll try to call them out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll just, if you're in there, if you're listening to Spotify or Anchor, check that out. We'll have some questions about the show. You can interact with it. Shout out to Talia and Matt at Anchor. They've really helped us keep the pod going straight through the transition as we go on to our own. So
answer some of those questions because we'll post them and then everyone will be able to see them on Spotify. So just give us a few answers. Give us a few shouts.
Enhances the listening experience.
Right.
No thanks to Robinhood, though. I started successfully moving all my money from there to a different brokerage app. Today. How you fellas doing with holding the line in the Robinhood?
Oh, man, I got to tell you, so I'm paying double rent. That was super easy with every dollar I have tied up in Robinhood and them not giving. They debited it from my account. They had no problem taking it right out of my account during the rush, the GME rush, but they're not so keen on giving it back to me.
Now that 5-day hold really locks you in there for the 5 days.
Mine just cleared.
Yeah, I still have diamond hands. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about it.
I got back into naked today.
Oh, bro, stay out of naked.
Everybody's diving back in. We're holding the line. Also, Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, so the snow ain't going nowhere for 6 weeks. Now, for real.
Read the room, Punxsutawney Phil. They couldn't have fuck him. All right, guys, I got a quirky one submitted.
Yeah, they really got to show him a handgun before he goes out. You know what I mean?
Like keep doing it until he does it right. Like don't let him get away with that. Anyways, I got the first one's a quirky one submitted by the interns. You know how oftentimes Hollywood stars are vandalized, like the actual star, and oftentimes signs with letters on them are vandalized to make funny words. Like for example, our high school announcement sign that was right out front of the main entrance that would get ravished. It's like, welcome back, Principal Butt Stink.
Oh, yeah. Principal Butt Stinkerton really got that bad, didn't he?
Yeah.
We just covered up the Inkerton. But no, yeah, totally, Mark. Where I used to do my laundry, they do rugs. And they had a sign that says, we do rugs. And come on, guys. We threw D in there.
There you go.
Yeah. Drugs. We do drugs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I get it. Well, look.
We used to our rock got vomino. It was you'd taunt the man with his own, you'd hoist the superintendent upon his own petard using his words against him on the rock.
Yeah, and now he's the head of the entire county. Anyways,
we trained him good.
Yeah, he had to deal with us. Well, combine both of those things, the Hollywood part and the vandalizing a sign, and you've got a prank pulled off by 6 people when they changed the Hollywood sign to Holly Boob the other day.
Got him.
Pretty good. I like how the B is kind of shitty too.
Yeah,
it's all shitty. Look at it.
No, well, it's hard to see, but the W they just put a giant tarp over it with a B, and then the second B is the D, and they just put a line through it. So it's Holly. It's 2
You can
Bs,
tell it's Holly
right.
Boob, but it's funny looking.
Right.
Whoever did this smokes weed. I'll tell you that much because this is
lots.
not a well formulated plan here. They
it
definitely
was
this is
lazily done. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sloppily done. A big tarp with the letter B was thrown over the W and a strategically placed white dash placed across the D to make the second B. Holly Boob got him. The thing is, maybe it wasn't a prank in terms of Hollywood sucks its own farts or makes horrible movies or too many skin flicks. No, according to the 6 who were all quickly cited for misdemeanor trespassing.
Oh, they found these people?
They got arrested. They got arrested right away. The Holly Boob 6. It was to spread breast cancer awareness. So I don't know if that was truly the case or if they're quick on their feet. But
That's a great excuse.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, LAPD Captain Steve Lurie, who probably can't believe he was drug out to spend time with this, said, "There's no vandalism because the sign wasn't damaged. They just took off the tarp and the dash and took like 5 seconds and it was
There
over.
you go.
Yeah, so not bad. Little known fact to people that are obsessed with that aren't obsessed with Hollywood, I should say, is the site of the sign is surrounded by Griffith Park. That's like the park it's in, and it's not accessible to the public. So the vandals had to climb some rough terrain to get up there. So they're high and potentially
Well, they're
climb
lucky
mountain
their
climbers.
doobies didn't light a little brush fire.
Right.
there, you know, lots of sage in them hills, probably.
Man, those
And it
letters are
rolls
pretty
down the hill.
high.
Yes.
That actress Peg Antwistle, she actually your career failed in Hollywood when you jump off the Hollywood sign to kill yourself, but she did that
Whoa.
way back in the day.
That's dramatic, isn't it?
That is dramatic. That's
Yeah, give her
Hollywood.
an Oscar.
In Hollywood.
Yeah.
The sign also is privately maintained by the Hollywood Sign Trust, which sounds like a really cool bunch of people. Proving my point, a representative for the trust said they were grateful for the fast response from the LAPD. And then Mark Pantier, the group's chairman, went on to say, again, after the sign was quickly cleaned up, it's unfortunate that such an important icon for the city of LA is not being appreciated. Trespassing to alter the sign is wrong no matter the purported cause. So it doesn't care that it's for breast cancer awareness. He went on to say, when you disrespect the sign, you're disrespecting Katie Hepburn and Grace Kelly, Liz Taylor and Ava Gardner. Marilyn Monroe, is she a Holly boob? What would the ghost of Marlon Brando and Kirk Douglas say? You think that fat drunk Orson Welles would appreciate the hysterical change of Hollywood to Holly boob? What is this, Tinseltown? You think the great Johnny Depp or O.J. Simpson deserve to hear about this? Mel Gibson better not find out any of those 6 were Jewish, I'll tell you that right now. Bill Cosby hates boob jokes. What about the writers of Twin Peaks, for Christ's sake? All right, yeah, sorry. Anyway.
It's a long
He was
quote.
really worked
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
he was worked up. You don't mess with this sign.
Yeah, that
This
rehearsed.
this is pretty bad. Did he know that it was breast cancer awareness motivated? Which I
Oh,
don't
the
think
best
that's-
thing.
Afterwards, that's what he said. He goes, I don't care what the cause was.
That guy needs to calm down. This is the
Yeah.
best thing that's happened to the Hollywood sign in years. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah,
this is
land fell off it.
I agree, Will. I commission everyone to maybe I might start a petition to like permanently change the sign to Holly Boob for breast cancer awareness.
or just let stoners like decorate it once a month, and then the
Right.
cops just go like take it down and laugh about it the next day.
Especially if it's like a tarp and it's not like permanently damaging it.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to change it to Holly Boob, and then as the cops were rolling up, they're like, "Think quick! Oh, it's
100
February."
100%.
I bet there's
Here's our
another
out.
more
100%
elaborate
Pat.
one. I bet there's another more elaborate one coming. Like that, they think that like that was the one. Now someone's gonna really do it up. Like put like fucks kids under it or something like that. You know?
Holly Weed.
Ooh, yeah.
Holly Weed would be easy.
You could definitely go after some of that kind of stuff, Wes.
Mhm.
If you wanted to really get under that guy's skin,
It's a good point. Yeah, the Hollywood
point out
sign.
some real bad shit that
The ho-
actually
that-
happens
Point
in
out a few
Hollywood.
things.
The group of pretentious losers at the Hollywood Sign Committee would not like that. But look, I hope all of the boobs are well taken care of and comfortable. You know, breast cancer awareness, just like my cock and balls are in my Mack Weldon underwear and Ace sweatpants. Mack Weldon is a premium men's essentials brand that believes in smart designs and high quality fabrics. Mack Weldon offers a one-stop shop for men's basics, socks, shirts, hoodies, underwear, polos, and active shorts. Whatever you need, Mack Weldon has you covered. Unlike the assortment of department store brands that make up your top drawer, all of Mack Weldon's basics have a consistent fit that you can count on. I'm wearing a Mack Weldon t-shirt right now. You're not just going to look great in Mack
So
Weldon.
comfortable.
It's amazing. Their underwear, socks, and shirts perform well too. So from working out, going to work on or just going on a date, Mack Weldon is for everyday life. Mack Weldon also has created a totally free loyalty program. Level 1 gets you free shipping for life. Pretty good. And once you reach level 2 by spending $200, Mack Weldon will give you 20% off every order for the next year. Look, do I have to say it again? Are you going to make me say it? Mack Weldon's clothes are great. All of them, the shirts, the polos, the long sleeves, but the sweatpants, the motherfucking Ace sweatpants.
Mack Weldon is making
Come on.
sweatpants like a fashion item. It's incredible.
Mhm.
You'd be an idiot not to get them. You'd be a Holly boob. For 20% off your first order, visit MackWeldon.com/factor and enter promo code FACTOR. That's 20% off your first order at Mack, M-A-C-K, Weldon, WELDON.com/factor and enter promo code FACTOR.
Nice. All right, guys. Gonna go back to hunt some treasure. We got a big one. We got a
All
big
right.
one for you guys.
Yeah.
And it's the kind that dreams are made of. I promise I'm gonna break out the metal detector this week. It was raining last week. I had my son, so we didn't get to it. But this has my juices flowing. A fellow treasure hunter, Kevin Duckett, was doing a little detecting near Market Harborough in Hamptonshire, when he picked up a signal. So he dug down. Maybe he would find a nice coin or something, he thought. No, he found the goddamn 2.5-inch gold figurine from the fucking crown of Henry the fucking VIII.
You gotta be shitting me.
No.
That was found with a metal detector.
With a metal detector. Yeah. It was thought to be lost 400 years ago. So the history of this thing is
solid gold.
Solid gold. It's right off the fucking crown.
This is the type of story that will never get West to quit metal detecting.
No, this is what it's made. This is what it's all about,
This
fellas.
could be a false flag operation.
This is the big leagues.
From big detector.
This is what we're all looking at. So the history of this thing is in 1649, Oliver Cromwell abolished the monarchy. He beheaded King Charles I, he was the son of Henry VIII, and ordered the crown, once worn by Henry VIII, melted down and made into gold coins. But that didn't happen. The jewels were sold off piece by piece. Of
course. What idiot would go through with that proposal?
It's crazy.
Right, you could make like 10 times the money selling the crown as is.
It's
Go
a priceless
away
artifact.
somewhere out of my sight and melt it down to coins. I trust you.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the crown. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much he thought about Henry VIII. Didn't even give a fuck about his gold crown. It was worn when he was married to this Anne of Cleves in 1540. The coronations of his children, like I said, King Charles I. And they say that when Charles tried to escape, this is what historians think, that the figurine detached, or he was trying to hide it from Cromwell somewhere, and this fucking guy found it out of nowhere, it's worth $2.5 million.
That's it. I don't know.
That's what I said. I thought it'd be worth like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Is it
Where did he
because
find this thing?
Is it because people think it's evil? Henry VIII is the guy that cut everyone's heads off, right?
Well, he was
Henry VIII. I am
big
It's
time
still
historical figure.
It's still big history. Yeah. It was just in a field.
Is it a fucking field?
Northamptonshire. Near a market.
Goodness.
It's not Shire, right? Because that's what Andrew Parker corrected.
Northamptonshire.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know surely Wes will be out there with the metal detector after this, because that
Everyone
you're gonna
will
be
be.
everywhere. Yeah.
If you're in England and you're not a metal detectorist, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I agree. It's the holy land for metal detecting. I bet you that Andrew Duckett or Keith Duckett's going to be like, fuck it when it comes to work for the rest of his life, probably.
Not bad.
Because you got that Duckett.
What was the
what
was the price again? $250.
It was worth $2.5 million.
2.5. I mean, someone's going to spend more than that on Henry VIII's thing.
You can up that to 5.
You try to sell it to the Queen's rich ass.
Right?
It's true.
I'm
Can't you
seeing
give some
some
land?
I'm seeing some conflicting reports on how much a gold bar costs, because this looks to be about the size. Let's assume it's
2.5 inches. It's 2.5 inches.
Because it's historical value.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. What's the raw gold cost, and then what do you add on top of that?
Not much. Probably the raw gold's not much at all. Right.
That's probably like what 3 ounces of gold.
That's probably like
maybe 4,
maybe
5,
10 grand. Yeah.
Bubba's showing us a stat here. Henry VIII is accused of beheading 72,000 people.
Yeah, see, he cut everyone's fucking head off.
Reign.
Told you. Yeah, it's not great. That's what I'm saying. Maybe people
He also had 8 wives, right?
So
Something
sick
like
of this
that? 9
past.
wives,
Yeah,
10
and didn't he
wives?
cut most of their heads off too?
Yeah.
Or some of their heads
cutter.
off? Yeah. So
quicker
maybe
than
people
divorce.
don't want anything to do with his punk ass.
I don't
Someone
know.
from
I
the
feel like that
Illuminati
makes
loves
it
it.
even more of a collector's item.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's so fucking infamous.
Satanists probably want it.
The rich Satanists would love it.
Yeah,
Well, he's so famous, he's infamous, like El Guapo.
Mm-hmm.
so many people collect Hitler shit, and he was Hitler. This guy's like maybe
He was Headler.
I know.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. Statute of limitations, right?
That was one of the punniest stories we've done in a while. I
Yeah,
love it.
good job, guys.
Right. We're going to keep it overseas, fellas. Another day in 2021, another international shakeup at the national election level, which is like, kind of scary. You have one of those every single day. That's getting a little weird. Yesterday, we were talking about Myanmar. Today, it's Alexei Navalny. That's right. The Russian opposition leader to Vladimir Putin, who has been poisoned at least twice by the Kremlin and still refuses to shut up about pointing out Putin's hypocrisy, Putin's palace, his secret daughters, whatever else. He did actually make it to his trial on Tuesday, February 2nd. But unfortunately for Alexei, the sentence was 2.5 plus years in a gulag Russian prison camp on embezzlement charges.
That's it for him.
Yeah,
That's it for him.
Navalny says these charges are totally trumped up against him, but Bubba's got a picture of maybe the last time we'll ever see him. If you could pop that up, that's him saying goodbye to his wife, Yulia, doing the little hand heart over his heart. It's all going to be okay,
face.
honey. Yeah, that's the
heart,
face of a
the
man.
Heart, he knows he's never going to see her again, or at least in any capacity of like what he is now.
Yeah,
He's never going to be able to make that with his hands ever again.
That's a haunting image, is what
That
that
is
is.
a very haunting image.
I don't know if we're gonna see that guy again. That's a sad one. After the courts made the decision at about 8 p.m. St. Petersburg time on Tuesday, mass demonstrations broke out in the streets and continued the show of support for Navalny. They've been going on for weeks now, ever since he was poisoned for the second time. But the riot cops were there and ready, detaining over 320 demonstrators at least, and that's just on Tuesday night. They've detained shitloads before in the riots. For the last
who's going to
couple
buy
weeks.
that fucking gold thing? Putin's going to buy it. That's right up
that's
Putin's
true.
alley.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
point.
that's perfect.
And you guys, check out the Discord. If you go to patreon.com/hardfactor and join one of the tiers, you can get on our Discord chat. And I gave my theory on what's going to happen with him. People in the Discord chat were like, he's going to die, right? How many months till he dies? Let's over under. I think they're going to let him live because of all the protesting, but they're going to like lobotomize his ass. Like
They're going to be like
they're
going to
take away his
when he gets
mental
out.
capacity to like be a dickhead to them, like to fuck with them. He's just going to be a complete shell of himself.
Well,
I think
probably-
an inmate's going to kill him, and a hired inmate's going to kill him.
Yeah,
That's the easy way out. I think they're
Tartaglione
gonna
style,
lobotomize him.
Epstein style. That's the other option. We'll see how it plays out. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, who his name shortened as A. Blinken, which is pretty funny. He says, "We reiterate our call for the Russian government to immediately and unconditionally release Mr. Navalny, as well as the hundreds of other Russian citizens wrongly detained in recent weeks for exercising their rights, including the rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly." Mitch McConnell and other American lawmakers echoed similar sentiments. But too bad we haven't pardoned Edward Snowden. I'm sure Putin will throw that in our faces again sometime soon as we complain about his hypocrisy. Also, the Russian UN ambassador basically told the U.S. to shut the fuck up about Navalny, given what happened at the Capitol last month. So it doesn't really seem like Russia cares too much what we got to say on this one, but we will see how it all plays out.
Why don't you put on your underwear, Alexei? Put on your non-poisoned underwear.
It's
crotch
clean,
first.
fresh
Get
out
your
of the
crotch-
laundry.
Get your crotch in there.
I don't know why they have German accents.
Yeah,
but
That's
whatever.
great Russian accent.
try your clean underwear, Alexei.
Oh, your underwear's so dirty, Alexi. Wouldn't you prefer some clean?
So we'll see what Vladdy gets up to over there with those 2.5 years. But you know one thing Vlad Putin can't stop any of us from doing? That's having fun, listening and giving more free Hard Factor shows on the Stereo app. That's a new app on Android and iPhone. Download it, Stereo app, orange and black icon. It's in all the stores. Free, totally free, and it's radio meets social media. It's basically a super fun, interactive show. Two hosts lead a conversation about any topic, and we take audio inputs from the audience. So it's free app. Download the app. You get notified when we go live, and then you can just sort of listen to us, chop it up, and submit your own piece to the show, and we can play it back right there in the show. We're doing it.
We got one today, right?
We got one today. Every Wednesday and Friday we're doing. So me and Pat are going today. Pat, what time are we going today? On this Wednesday?
I think we're going to. You want to go at 5 Eastern, right? Is that what
5
we're doing?
Eastern.
Yeah.
We're going to do the live at 5 on this Wednesday with
Nice.
Will and Pat. So we're doing them every Wednesday and Friday. Tune in, like we're saying, for Pat and I today. You got Wes and Mark on Friday. They'll announce the time. But again, to get in on this, download the Stereo app. It's free in all the app stores. And then follow at Hard Factor Will, at Hard Factor Mark, at Hard Factor Wes, and Pat Cassidy. And you get notified when we're going live. We'll also schedule our shows so you can see it. It's super fun. Get in there. It's free content.
We might do a little dad talk today because I haven't got to catch up with Will about how what I'm to look forward to. And
There
I
we
like
go.
that.
That's a good topic for sure.
So,
I
a little
got lots
Subaru
for
talk too. It's gonna be great for lesbians. All right,
Husbands
guys.
and dads.
The next one is from Father Brian. I love a good con man story. I don't know about you guys. I can't get enough of them. And well, our interns, who also happen to be our legal counsel, would advise me to do, I have to preface this story by throwing a big fat allegedly all over it. This thing is dripping with allegedly, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, con man stories often are.
Was that good, Bubba? Did I do that? Can I say what I want now?
He's
Yeah.
giving you the thumbs up.
Big time.
Yeah, you cleared yourself there completely, for sure.
Hell yeah. Yep.
Every which way.
Big
Immune to all crimes now.
Wrapped up in a blanket of allegedly. All right, guys, back in February 2020, it was reported that 32-year-old Rhode Island man, Nicholas Oliverdian, had died after a short battle with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the reason this Rhode Island man was worth writing about was because he had become quite a public figure in Rhode Island politics. And he worked as a lobbyist to reform Rhode Island's child welfare program, as well as Nebraska's and Florida's. So there was that, but it was also important that they talk about his battle with lymphoma, because he called a bunch of journalists and insisted that the fact that his life as a crusader for children was being tragically cut short was really newsworthy and needed to be reported. So,
okay. So he's one of these guys who's like DMing every single person in media, being like, "This is my story."
He's calling around saying, "I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm a warrior." A little backstory on this quote warrior, as he's described in his obituary. He allegedly, or he alleged that his parents were, quote, abusive and alcoholic, and couldn't take care of him. So he was placed in foster care, and where he claims he was beaten daily. That was until he got hired as a page in the Rhode
Join
Island.
the club. Just kidding, Mom and Dad.
I know, yeah. No, your parents are very nice. That's not true.
Just kidding.
But he claims that he was beaten daily until he got hired as a page at 14. And then somewhere down the line, he eventually sued the states to bring welfare reform, right? So solid guy, seems like, right? But it seems he may have been up to no good, because back in 2008, in between his advocacy work for welfare reform, he was using the alias Nicholas Rossi, and he was charged with sexually assaulting a Sinclair Community College woman in a stairwell. Yeah, and this wasn't
that creepy looking guy.
I feel like I've seen this guy before.
You may have
in your nightmares.
Yeah.
No,
I
I've
do so much good before
on social media.
Yeah.
Right. So, he has a little one running with the law. That's about it. No, there's another one. Because leading up to his sudden and mysterious death, the FBI was investigating him for fraudulently obtaining 22 credit cards and loans under his foster father's name and running up debts totaling almost $200K. He also stuck his second wife with a $52,000 loan, and didn't seem to like registering as a sex offender when he moved around. So
those are all terrible things.
Right. It's the kind of investigation from the FBI that would make you wish you were dead, right? Am I right?
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it certainly would.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
which
want to
this-
get
you
caught with
might
those crimes.
Fake your own death.
Yeah, maybe, allegedly, because this guy's fucking not dead. Everyone's pretty sure that Nicholas faked his own death and is really dedicated to selling it. So check it out. According to the Providence Journal, Father Bernard Healy received an email from Nicholas's, quote, widow a couple months after he died, requesting a memorial service for Nicholas so that, quote, state politicians could celebrate his bright life. But then after he got that email, shortly thereafter, Father
Why was
Bernard,
there no body? What was the alleged death?
non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Okay.
It made him disappear.
Right, it made him disappear. I don't know where the body is. No one knows.
She's just like, all right, we don't have a body, but we could do the funeral.
Right. So, he was a devout Catholic. So the father gets an email being like, we got to set up, from his alleged widow, we got to set up this memorial. Right after that email, he gets another email from another guy who wants to remain anonymous saying, don't hold that mass. And that, quote, Mr. Oliverdian had faked his own death and was a fugitive, and that the woman who had reached out claiming to be his wife was probably Nicholas himself.
Was that the FBI?
No, he's like, I'm pretty sure he's emailing the priest being like, we got to get a service going for my late husband, but it's really him.
It was him.
Right. But who gave the tip? Who was like, don't do it?
No, we don't know. Some random
That's
guy
like the CIA or some shit. That's what I'm saying. That's like the NSA sending the father, like,
it could be any number of people that this guy screwed in his lifetime. I don't know. But when Nicholas's widow, quote unquote widow, didn't see any memorial mass planning going on, she started calling the father repeatedly, saying, what's up with the mass? And the father told the Journal that the woman was, quote, using some sort of device that changed people's voices. So like he's calling and pretending to
you
be
could
a
tell
woman.
it was like a robot woman's voice.
Exactly. Like, hello, father. This totally isn't Nicholas, he's dead, but how's his memorial mass going?
I miss him every day.
Yeah, it's so much fun doing this.
Oh man! So the Providence Journal reached out to the woman who'd been emailing the father and calling the father and got no response. But then they ran the story about Nicholas probably being alive, and the Providence Journal got a 9-page incoherent email from her. Again, not Nicholas, her, explaining that his foster parents were liars. So was the community college he felt up in the stairwell. Community college woman was a liar. The FBI were liars.
Did she ever exist, his wife, or did he just make her up completely?
Well, he was married twice, but he stuck one of them with a $52,000 bill. So, like, I doubt it was her.
So the second one could be fake.
Right. No, no, this is him. So, and I thought, okay, it's probable that this guy is dead. But then I read his obituary, or he's alive. And then I read his obituary. I knew he was fucking alive because this is the most ridiculous obituary ever. Here's some direct quotes from his obituary. Nicholas's last words were, "Fear not and run towards the bliss of the sun." Mr. Oliverian was a painter, an author, amateur ornithologist, political scientist, sociologist, accomplished orator, and child welfare reform advocate. He did the unthinkable and was admitted and became an alumnus of Harvard University, the most peaceful and intellectually invigorating 4 years of his life. It's like if you could write your own fucking obituary but didn't give a shit.
They left out con man rapist.
Big time. So this guy's alive.
Yeah, nobody. So where is he? No one knows.
No one knows. They're trying to find him. The FBI is
He's
trying
off
to
the
find him.
grid.
Yeah, he's flown away.
Well, I
By
wonder
now.
if he's got a sex change. Maybe he has turned himself into his fake wife.
I don't know, but his Twitter's pretty great.
It wouldn't surprise me after that story. All right, guys. And I got another crazy story for you here. We're going to need to take a trip to the soft corner.
Oh.
This one is fucked up. 3 pathetic men are going to be permanently residing in the soft corner until they are likely put to death by the state of Louisiana. This story comes from my wife, who was not happy with the assholes in this story. So
Damn, it sounds like they're bad guys.
they are bad
They are.
guys. So you know the setting. It's Montague. Is that how you say it in French? Montague, Louisiana. I think it's close enough. But the story you won't believe. 34-year-old Brittany Cormier and 37-year-old Hope Nettleton were fatally shot by 2 hitmen on January 13th. And there's a picture of Brittany and Hope, RIP. There you go. Neither of them were the intended targets of the hitmen, though. Brittany Cormier's brother, Beau Cormier, was conspiring to kill his niece, who was set to testify against him for raping her back in March of 2020, and he couldn't have that, as he's already a previously convicted felon sex offender, and he knows what happens when he goes to jail for 20 years for rape. So he ordered his friends.
He just killed her instead.
Well, he didn't. He ordered his friends, 25-year-old Andrew Eskine and 22-year-old David Wilson, if you can get a look at these 3 fucking guys, to kill the young woman who he had already raped. So he must not have liked her. Beau is on the left there, and then David Wilson is on the top, and Andrew Eskine's on the bottom right.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
His niece. He wanted to kill his niece.
He wanted to kill his niece that he raped.
After raping her.
Yeah, so guess they didn't get along.
He's like
Okay,
the
that's
worst
horrible.
brother in the world.
Yeah, and so his sister Brittany ended up getting killed because the thing is, Wilson showed up to Brittany Cormier's house in Eskine's car. Eskine did not attend the murder, but he helped plan the attack and lent his car to David Wilson. So Brittany knew something bad was going down when David Wilson showed up with a gun, asking her to identify herself at her own house. So she pretended to be the rape victim, her niece as well, apparently, and she was then shot dead. Brittany's friend Hope Nettleton, friend and neighbor, was over at Cormier's house, and she tried to fight the shooter off, but Wilson easily won that battle and then shot her dead too.
What a motherly thing to do. What a hero that woman is, to know that they're there to kill your kid and be like, yeah, it was me.
I don't think it was her kid,
Is
but
it-
yes, it was her. I think it was also her niece, based on
But
her
then
age.
But
No,
then
it
he
was,
also got to
her.
Brittany.
It was her daughter.
It could have been her daughter. It didn't say in the article.
There was a daughter and a stepdaughter. I accidentally
You read it? Okay,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So then it was her daughter. Good, thank you. I'm glad you know that. And her daughter was hiding in the closet with her other child, Brittany's other child, and they ended up surviving.
Oh, they did.
Because David Wilson left and didn't know the kids were in the closet. He's so stupid that obviously if Brittany's like 34 and has a young daughter, when he asks who she is and she says, I'm my daughter, who's probably like 12 or younger, like he's a moron, this murderer, because he thought, like, how did he not know she wasn't the intended target if she's like in her 30s and the intended target's like not even a fucking teenager yet. But
No,
anyways,
she's probably 20.
It's
Well-
kind of like a shitty mailman. you know, who's just like, yeah, no, the package got delivered. You know, even though he knows it went to the
Wow.
wrong house, but he got out of his hands.
I mean, they were killing everyone in that house, so it did. I mean, you know what I mean? They were killing
That's
everyone.
fucking horrible. I mean,
True.
these trash individuals are going to be cleaned off the streets, huh? Is that there's
Yep,
somebody
yep,
in there,
yep,
Grady
yep.
Judding them, please?
Yep. Like I
Okay.
said, Bo. Yeah, what a great brother, right? Bo is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they didn't get the intended target. She survived. And all 3 men have been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and are being held in jail on $2 million bond piece, which they will not be able to afford. And the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney Joseph L. Waits Jr. said in the press conference that the death penalty is absolutely on the table.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're slamming the death penalty home
Yeah.
on these guys.
Maybe the guy who didn't show up but lent the car might not get the death penalty, but Bo and David Wilson
Yeah,
off with their heads.
for sure.
Yeah, it's
It's terrible.
Softball.
Louisiana. They're not afraid to throw that penalty around.
What are you doing today? I got this buddy raped his niece. She's going to testify, so I'm just helping him out a little bit.
Just go to
Gonna
silence.
kill the whole household.
He's a good friend, you know, so
Yeah.
he's always there for me
Meet you at the bar.
When he-
Met him at the card game the other week. I
yeah,
think.
when he's not raping
Bo.
his kin.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. All right, guys. Moving on. COVID hit businesses hard, right? So many people had to reinvent the way they did business. So when one farm near Rosendale in Lancashire, which normally sells, hosts wedding and educational visits, took a big hit, they had to change their whole business model. So they looked to their beloved goats and they slaughtered them and sold their meat to the Japanese.
Oh wow.
No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding. No, they didn't do that. No, what they did.
Well, that's adaptation. Had they done that, I mean, that would have been a
No, just kidding. No, what they
agile
did was
move.
they started a business where people would hire their show goats, Lulu and Sebastian, to pop in on a scheduled Zoom meetings for €5 a pop, and she has raised over 50,000 euros from the time the service started back in April of 2020. There's
Nice.
There's
People
Dot
are really-
McCarthy.
They're
Yeah.
throwing the term raised around quite a bit these days.
well. That's you made it. You
she
made
earned it. Yeah.
You
no.
you offered
Yeah.
that service
Yeah.
exactly, Pat. Yeah.
What if that was the first first idea they scratched out? Kill and sell to the Japanese.
Oh, you know who loves goat meat?
Yeah, everything's exotic. So that's what they 50,000 euros. And she said she started this thing. So what basically what they do is people have Zoom meetings, like actual like businesses, and they hire just to have the goat pop in for some like comic relief.
For a laugh, yeah.
Bubba, if you got a
Wow.
clip, this is what it looks like.
Being like, everything's possible. We can help you find this, and everybody can be a millionaire, and everybody deserves this. You're like, you have never been in the real world.
So that's it.
Wait, hold
It's
on,
just-
Wes. That clip
Yeah.
you just ran was like a man giving a speech, but the goat was in the meeting and people weren't reacting to it.
Sitting there.
Were they
Right.
supposed to react to it? Did we miss?
I think that might have been later after the initial reaction, but the goat is just there.
they were
goat's
like
just-
disinterested in the goat already.
It's just vibing
Yeah.
in the meeting. It's
Yeah.
giving your
Yeah.
meeting a goat vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the dumbest shit
Pretty
ever.
lame.
People have way too much money and way too much disposable income if they're buying this service.
yeah, and it also like sets up really terrible bosses to be like, yeah, I got a special guest, Tom Brady is joining the meeting.
Mhm.
Tom Brady's coming in.
It's a goat.
This goat. His name's Tom Brady though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, if you're a CEO, you love that. So now people are doing this with llamas. It's never going to stop. People are going to soon have tigers and fucking, any kind of animal pop into their
You know
Zoom
the
meeting.
sad part. You know the sad part about the corporate world is that the power structure is that these dumbass bosses aren't getting shit talked back to them like when they really should be. Like the people who are having to endure the goat, they're having to just sit there and like swallow it and pretend like it was a great idea.
The goat,
And-
not only that, but the goat is such a self-congratulated great idea by the execs. Like they give themselves like a bonus because
Oh, yeah.
they came up with the goat idea. It's
Oh, the
mentioned,
morale's through the
it's-
roof. We did
it's
the goat.
mentioned, it's mentioned for the next 4 meetings, and you
Right.
have to pretend for the
Yeah,
next 4 meetings that the
that's
goat was the
horrible.
greatest thing that
That's
happened
the
in
worst thing that
2021
could
in your
happen at your
business.
office.
Yeah,
To give some
Remember-
context for the other end of this, my brother-in-law told me that as like I guess like a sales motivator, his company brought in Pitbull. The
There we go. Yeah.
rapper
Rev it up.
to hype up the sales
Yeah.
team.
that's awesome.
Oh yeah. That's classic corporate shit.
Yeah. That's
so,
better
yeah.
than a goat on
Yeah,
Zoom.
Pistol's better than the goat.
It's
The
way
goat
better.
on Zoom is horrible.
Mr.
Low
Worldwide
effort.
is better than a goat on Zoom for €5.
Yeah, but it's taking off now. Everyone that wasn't even the video I played wasn't even from this farm. Everyone that has a fucking goat is now offering this service
Of
because
course.
it's just taking off.
You can turn your fucking goat into a wet cam girl.
Yeah, that's right.
Does it do any tricks or is it just
No,
it's just a goat?
it just walks around and
Oh, look,
there's-
it's going to the bathroom. Is that its trick?
There it is. Yeah.
I guess that's what he thinks of your idea, Steve.
yeah, yeah. It just means that what you have to say means nothing. So here, let's have everyone pay attention to the goat
Or
instead.
what I have to say to you is so shitty that I need a fucking goat.
Right.
Right.
Is anyone,
Walk
yeah.
around while I
That's what
say
I'm
it,
saying,
so
yeah.
it seems less shitty.
is anyone
like
else
the-
a little horny?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the quarterly review meeting, and they're giving out the awards and
No bonuses.
You know
but
the
get
goat.
the goat.
The goat gets the first award as a joke. They bring the. I'm just kidding. It's actually Sarah.
It's the fucking it's the Jelly of the Month Club is
Yeah.
what it is. It's Clark Griswold's Jelly of the Month Club.
is.
But hey, speaking of horny, this episode that segment is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, remember the days when you were always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. BlueChew.com. That's
Be the
blue,
goat again.
like the color. Yeah, like you're gonna be going
More like
goat.
the donkey.
That's right. Now you can. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, on a full belly, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. If you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed doctors, physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy, and it ships right to your door in a discreet package. Nobody's going to know. And they're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. No awkwardness. You don't have to go to the pharmacy. You don't have to leave the house. Right now, we got a special deal for you guys. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code Hard Factor, all one word. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUE Chew.com, promo code Hard Factor to try it free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice. And hey, remember, guys, we thank them for sponsoring this podcast, and you should really try them out. Remember, when you support our sponsors, you help make this podcast possible to remain free to you guys. So please be sure to use our promo code HardFactor at BlueChew.com.
Wes, that's not a deal. That's a steal. Free Blue Chews right there. And fellas, you see what I got on if you're watching on youtube.com/hardfactornews. It's the space helmet.
I think
that means
I think they can tell by your voice.
that
You
means
sound
we're headed
suffocated.
back to Space Mountain. No, I'm breathing easy in this thing. I've dropped at least half an ounce this week, so I'm feeling much lighter inside this helmet.
Okay.
Another
It kind
day.
of looks like you're wearing like a knight's helmet who got a Bluetooth. Is what more than a spaceman a little
Is
bit.
it?
but-
It looks to me. It looks like an eagle that like a eagle's beak.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of looks like
Well,
you're inside
that's
of an
no,
eagle.
that's my
Yeah.
visor. That's my
Yeah,
sun repellent visor that I pull down when I'm.
Can someone
on
get Will a
Mars.
better fucking?
We got to get
This-
something better than this.
This is a great space helmet.
Okay.
If you think you can do better, please let me know, and I'm all ears. But it's another day, fellas, and another mark for progress in the race to explore space. You guessed it. That progress is marked in another exploded SpaceX test starship. This time it's the SN9 starship. Sorry, Elon haters, it was not a manned ship, so you cannot celebrate any deaths yet. Shout out to Big Ounce for the story submission. The high altitude experiment launched from Boca Chica, Texas on Tuesday and was a repeat of the accident that destroyed the previous SN8 starship. We also covered that one. You probably remember that. The starship SN9 blew up on its final descent. So it was like it came off, boom, perfect launch. It can carry like 100 tons of gear plus humans. It went up into space, and then it's a 16-story rocket all into space. It did a couple of minutes just like hanging out, but then it came back down for a controlled landing, or what was supposed to be a controlled landing. Problem is, the engines that were supposed to stop the thing from exploding just didn't work.
It ain't carrying
So-
shit now anymore.
No.
Isn't this a pattern? We've called this out. So Elon has every other like one is an explosion. It's always a non-manned one. And it's like it gets a bunch of press and everyone freaks out, and then like his next manned one goes perfectly. It seems like it's a stunt at this point.
I think he prefers to explode the test ships.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like he's counting death cards. in
That's
desk
the-
blackjack.
Exactly. It's to
Yeah.
fuck with his astronauts as well as get press. It's like
Those new spaceships, they look like something you'd give like a kid in the 50s, like as like a a rocket. They look
for
so
sure.
basic. It looks like he expects them to blow up.
I'm glad you guys bring this up. I'm woke on this too. I think he likes to blow these up, like you're both saying. And Wes, the final Starship is going to look so much superior to this test junk that they've been exploding. Like it's not even funny. Like you're looking at this stupid metal silo, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh, this is
exactly.
the dumb ship they're going to try to.
Yeah.
And then like the real one's going to be fucking incredible.
there's a
when you see it.
0.0% chance that it explodes on landing. I'll put it that way. Like there's no way that the final one won't slow down.
Yeah, basically what happened here, it's supposed to flip itself back over, and then the rockets on the bottom of the ship are supposed to re-engage, and they didn't for the test. So 2 tests, 2 explosions. We'll probably have more explosions, honestly, before it's all said and done.
Every non-manned one that he doesn't care about.
He's gonna just blow it up to tank the stock and buy some more for himself, probably. In other shocking but not shocking space news, the White House dodged answering questions about the Space Force on Tuesday. So even seemingly mocking their existence and not knowing who a point of contact would be for something as silly as one of the military branches that launches space rockets into the space. So wouldn't expect much help from the Biden admin on the space exploration front, fellas. But in some good news for the space heads out there, the Perseverance, the Mars lander, with the advanced underground sensors and drone camera attached to it, should be landed on the red planet on February 18th. Bubba, I think we got a image of the diagram. They're supposed to like hook a cable onto it using a reverse sky crane move to gently land it onto the red planet on the 18th. And
Looks like a movie.
Yeah, it looks too good to be true, honestly. We'll see if that thing makes it in one piece.
Like Dennis Villeneuve made that, like Blade Runner 2099 or whatever it's called.
I think it's pronounced Denis.
Oh, okay. Did you guys see that press secretary's clipped when
Dude, Jen Psaki, she was like laughing at the person in their face. They're like, "Oh, Space Force, yeah, I'll go check with the Space Force guys down Space Force laboratories." Okay,
completely mocking.
They're like, "Have you talked to a Space Force yet?" She was like, "No, we haven't talked with Space Force."
It's a branch of the military with 16,000 members and
that's kind of
big
fucked up.
budget.
It was pretty fucked up.
She is mega adversarial. She is so adversarial up there. She really is.
She's doing a great job, right?
Yeah. Well, it's fun to watch. And guys, that's gonna do it for Hard Factor. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hey, give us a follow. Tune into mine and Will's stereo show today. My stereo is Pat Cassidy. Will's is at Hard Factor Will. It'll be 5 p.m. Eastern. Get some merch, please. Hardfactory.com. Do that shit. Like, subscribe, comment, and have a great fucking day.